The NFL Combine is complete, which means more mock drafts for all of us. My name's Tyler, here with my brother Ryan, and today we are doing a live mock draft for the Denver Broncos. What do I mean by live? We will be role playing as the front office for the Denver Broncos, going through an entire mock draft simulation. So while we're doing that, leave a comment, let us know your thoughts on all of our picks and what you would like to see the Broncos do at each selection, and hit that subscribe button and tackle that bell to get notified when new videos come out. Now, Broncos are picking 20th overall. The couple of picks before them: Will Johnson to the Cardinals, Josh Simmons to the Bengals, Emeka Egbuka to the Seahawks, Walter Nolan going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So now with the Denver Broncos on the clock, it's very interesting too, because all the teams before them felt like it's very defensive heavy, a lot of different rounds so you can go here. Now this is the first team in a lot of picks that as like I think you could go offense here. What's interesting though is both
Mhm.
Mekegbuka, Luther Burden, Ashton Genty, and also like Tyler Warren, all those guys are off the board up to
Yeah.
this point here. So that's extremely interesting overall to this team here. Ryan, let's scroll down here and actually you can maybe go
Colston
Matthew
Loveland
Golden. Go
is
ahead.
Colston Loveland is the one that first popped to mind. But yeah, Matthew Golden could be another one that he could move around the formation. There is some overlap there with Marvin Mims, but I do feel like Matthew Golden could definitely play more of like the slot role, while Marvin Mims could definitely be more of like the down the field like slot threat role. I don't know if that makes
Yeah.
sense, but
No, Matthew Golden seems to me more like the traditional receiver. Not
yeah,
nothing against Marvin Mims, but Marvin Mims does seem like the gadget guy in
yeah.
that system. So if they're going to try and go a route, especially in this scenario, if Emeka Ibuka is off the board, but I also think too, though, how big of a difference do you think Matthew Golden is to Jalen Royals, to Jaden Higgins? And I'm
Oh,
saying that because
there's a
no,
big
no,
difference.
no. Sorry, I mean on value that would bring to the team as of right now. That's what I mean.
To me, it's not between Matthew Golden and those guys because I think Matthew Golden is significantly a better receiver than those guys. But with that being said, I think the debate is between Colston Loveland and Matthew Golden, and who's the better fit for this organization at the moment. And so I'm kind of leaning towards Colston Loveland just because they have a similar receiver in Marvin Mims who is already working with Bo Nix, where they do not have a tight end. Like Colston Loveland would come in and be that tight end right away for Bo Nix over the middle of the field.
And I also think too, when you look at the other rookie tight ends, he's the guy that seems the most NFL ready as of right now.
Yeah.
So this might be a little early, but I'd be curious to hear Broncos thoughts. But yeah, let's pull the trigger on Colston Loveland there. The way
Let's
this
see
board
where
fell out,
Matthew Golden goes.
I think he's already
No, he just went to the Chiefs at 31.
nice.
So,
So and here we do that, and then I don't mind double dipping at skill position player here. So like Xavier Restrepo actually would be very interesting. Um, addition to this one here as well. You're gonna have Jalen
I'm
Royal, Savion Williams.
mhm.
What are you thinking here?
uh I don't know. I'm trying to look. So I think Xavier Restrepo is, I don't want to say like redundant to Colson Loveland because they're two very different people. You could do that. They're both just over the middle targets. Um
That's fair.
it is a weird situation though because they don't need a whole lot. Um I don't know if there's like a center fielding safety at this
That's
point,
that
but
might be the area that they'd want to improve on is going to be that free safety spot. If there's one weakness, it's
yeah,
kind of PJ Lock being over there.
maybe they can look at like an Andrew Mukuba or like a Billy Bowman later, but I don't think
Yeah,
right now. Honestly, yeah, let's go get an Xavier Restrepo. Let's like, or maybe if you want to go Jalen Royals at this point, that might be a little high. Um, or
my thing
honestly, a
is
Savion Williams would be interesting in a Sean Payton offense.
my biggest thing is I just don't know if those guys will make it to the next pick. I know they have the ranking there, but we just don't know how the simulation's going to. We try to make it as unrandom and as
Mm,
kind of realistic as possible.
yeah,
So I boo, 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 boo.
Could also go
I
running back if they
let's
wanna
do
go
that.
like a Caleb Johnson, and get, like, a true down or a Dylan Sampson, either one.
Let's do Dylan Sampson. I actually like that. I
Okay,
think that value as of right now is a little bit better, and I think there's gonna be guys, receivers available that can come in and contribute some good minutes,
okay,
um, at that next pick here. Man,
okay.
the simulation is listening to us because Jalen Royals just went, right? That's and Savion Williams. That sucks. And Jalen Knoll.
Yeah,
That sucks.
yeah, actually, then we would've been out of all of the options. Well, we are, out
Uh,
of all the options.
I would say Tez Johnson, but his 40 wasn't nearly as good as you would hope that would be. I know there's a lot
Yeah,
more to that. Isaiah Bond is definitely more Isaiah, like, to me, Isaiah Bond and Marvin Mims, I think, is the most
yeah, that's the most redundant.
overlapping, yeah.
Um,
So, there are some other needs here as well. If you wanna get that free safety, let's see,
could look this could be an Andrew Mukuba spot. It's a little high, but
but
at this point
he's not gonna be there by 121. I think that's the
no.
spot.
Okay.
He is that free safety guy that you were talking about. I
Yeah,
think that
let's
would
do
be a
that.
spot you can come in and bring, and so I don't really think it's too much of a reach. I If you're confident he's not gonna be there by your next pick, then I don't think that's too much of a reach,
Yeah.
even though these rankings are the way that they are.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do Andrew Mukuba. You get the like a high end free safety there in the third round. Played a lot of really good football there
A
at
lot of yeah,
Texas, and so I feel like that's a good fit. So
yeah.
here coming up, I mean, we kind of covered tight end, safety. We got a running back there as well. So wide receiver and linebacker are going to be, I think, the two spots. Maybe we'll look. Barrett Carter would be interesting.
Barrett Carter would
Uh,
be interesting. 'Cause Alex
there,
Singleton's coming off a an ACL tear as well, so he's a potential cut candidate. There's other linebackers also too that are free agents, so that could be a spot. Maybe they just wanna get some depth in, like Cody Barton is also a free agent as well. They did
mhm.
draft Drew Sanders in 23. Receiver-wise, I think Jack Kaiser would be interesting too in this system. You talked about Kyle Williams a lot as kind of being that slot guy, and it
Yeah,
is 70 picks until their next selection, so this is kind of a big one here.
yeah. It's really up to you. I feel like we could get. There's going to be more linebackers like Jay Higgins will be there.
Yeah,
Um, this could be actually a Ty Felton spot. This would be
let's
really
do let's do that. PFF does kinda have this a little wacky here, that Ty
yeah,
Felton's this low, but this is at the low end of his range, but I like
yeah, yeah.
let's
I
yeah, let's cut
I like
ourselves
that.
some slack.
Yeah, do Ty Felton, and then I'm gonna speed this up to turbo as we get into the late round 6, round 7 picks, but I do feel like he's gonna go a lot higher than 200, and so I really think he's a third round pick. He's in that tier of guys that went right before the 88th pick for
Honestly, that could be when we selected Dylan Sampson, I even think that that could have been an area
yeah.
where we
No,
could take
honestly,
Ty
yeah,
Felton. I really like what he brings. He feels like a good differentiator, or a good middle ground between Marvin Mims and Courtland Sutton.
yeah. No, I
So,
agree 100%. So this is where I think Jay Higgins would be a good fit. You could also start to invest in some offensive line depth here at this point. Maybe get an inline blocking tight end, double
that
dip at that position,
if they had a couple more picks, maybe, but oh, well, they are picking in 5 picks here.
and then in 12 picks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we're almost wrapping up
But
here.
you want to snag Jay Higgins really quick,
Let's
and then we'll go.
Yeah, let's get Jay Higgins. Let's see what happens here. And then you're sitting there. I guess like they could double dip at tight because it is a different type of tight end. But at the same time, though, too, Colson Loveland can be that do it all type guy where
Yeah,
so it's not like you got Harold Fannin who is like, no, like you need a blocker
yeah.
as well.
And Colson Loveland can do that. That's not where he's gonna succeed, though.
He can't, yeah, but he's He's not a
We don't
junk
have to
guy
do it.
though
They
either.
can also
Yeah,
go and get like a Pharaoh Brown in free agency and just throw him in line and pay him $1.5 million. Like
exactly. So
so,
let's quickly recap here. So we've done tight end, running back,
like
safety,
the what
receiver, linebacker.
linebacker.
We haven't done much in the trenches. Actually, I take that
No.
back. We haven't done anything in the trenches. Um, and you even wanted to try and find some offensive line depth here.
Yeah, let's look at interior offensive line. You can throw offensive tackle in there. Um, we could snag a guard here, get Miles Frazier or like Timothy McKay.
Let's do Timothy McKay. We haven't done
Okay.
him yet.
Yeah, we haven't done him.
So I think that'll be good. And then let's get defensive line here somewhere to
Okay.
to round out this draft.
Ty Robinson reminds me a lot of Zach Allen. Um, we could do Howard Cross is another name that I like as well. Is a disruptive interior pass rusher. So that would be interesting as well.
Yeah, let's end up doing that. I mean, DJ Jones is a free agent.
Okay.
They'll probably end up re-signing him. We'll have to kind of wait and see.
It's another
Uh,
guy to add in the rotation.
yeah,
So
yeah. But in general, though, it's so interesting because a lot of teams need so much defensive help. Now, it's interesting to see the Broncos, and we're like, nope, we're like, let's actually go try and get some weapons of like the few weapons or of like a lot of them fall to
yeah,
Denver. Well, I take that back. No, not a lot of them fell because we had to kind of reach on Colson Loveland to make sure that we got that guy. But all things considered, though, if you're looking at this skill position player room, I and you're the Broncos fan, I think I'd really like my prospects in this Sean Payton offense here. The Ty Felton F, ignore that. That's great value for him at
oh
121.
yeah,
It's unless if we're as we say, PFF, please email us. Let us know if we are missing something on why he is 208 on y'all's board. But I think that that's a good value there. You get Dylan Sampson. Start to try and get a more. I don't say bell cow back, but you're more your primary back, and then you still
yeah,
have Audric Estime as your big bowling ball guy. And so, but Ryan, overall though, I think this is just a solid Broncos draft. They're almost benefiting from the fact that a lot of other teams need defensive help, so they can kind of pick apart uh, uh, um, the few good skill position players in these early rounds. I will say I
yeah.
don't think I I mean it's possible that Tyler Warren, uh, Ted McMillan will definitely be gone, but it's possible Tyler Warren's also gone, Luther Burden, and Emeka Egbuka. It's possible. I still feel like that's not likely though. Like just the way that
I
this
think it's possible.
simulation.
I mean, I agree. It may not be likely, but I do think you'll have a plethora of teams that are going to be looking for targets like that. And like I think Emeka Egbuka, we talked about it in the not the 49ers, the Buccaneers video. I think that could be a Chris Godwin replacement if they don't re-sign him.
Yeah, that's
So
fair.
so I think it's possible. Likely, I agree. No, but I think for the Broncos, I think Colston Loveland is a very good fit. Dylan Sampson, I think, is a good fit. Andrew Mukuba, another good fit. Ty Felton, yeah, Ty Felton is a top 100 prospect in this class, and the fact that he's at 208 on PFF is a little crazy to me. Jay Higgins, I think, is good value there. Timothy McKay, Howard Cross, addressing the trenches there late in the draft. I think it's all looks good for the Denver Broncos, and hopefully they can continue to improve like they did all throughout 2024. So
I agree.
let's go ahead. Let's wrap up this video here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. That is the best way to help out the channel. While you're down there, leave a comment on what you thought of this Broncos 7-round mock draft. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you have done differently? Other than that, we will see you guys next time.